listen to how your parents read their stories. We don't crawl on the carpet, Miss Emma. Find your spot and stay there. What made it interesting when your mom or dad read you a story last night? Jayla, what made it interesting?
Last night I was making a book about SpongeBob and my mom read it to me.
Oh, so that was interesting because you helped make the book. That would make it interesting. Mackenzie?
I made a book about Barbies and my dad read it to me.
When we read our book yesterday, The Three Billy Goats Gruff, what made it interesting to you? Joyce?
That the big goat wasn't afraid of the troll.
That the big goat wasn't afraid of the troll. Isn't that wonderful? Jacob, what made it interesting for you? Are my friends thinking, Carly? I hope so. You want me to come back to you? The funny voices, that made it interesting. Good. Alex, what made this book interesting for you when we read it yesterday?
The two other goats were a little scared.
The other two goats were a little scared, yeah. Emma?
I saw my friend.
Is this about our book? Or is it about Mom and Dad reading to you last night? What made it interesting? Because that's what we're talking about.
I like the little book because it was so cute.
Oh, so it was cute. All right. Ethan. The troll. Yeah, you liked the way the troll talked. All right, Miss Jayla. He was. So today we're going to read The Three Billy Goats Gruff. And we're going to notice those interesting things. And I have another question that I want my friends to think about. What does a reader need to know to understand a story? Just think about it for a minute. Hands are down, thinking caps are on. What does a reader need to know to understand a story? Skylar, what's one thing?
Words.
The words, yes. You know what? Sometimes we read these really big words and we're not sure what they mean. And so when that happens, because I'm going to read our book today, and when I read a book or read a word that you don't know what it means, I want you to stop and raise your hand. Because that's what a good reader does. A good reader, when they find a word that they don't know what it means, they ask, they find it out, okay? So hands are down. Three Billy Goats Gruff, and you are thinking about a word that you may not understand. The Three Billy Goats Gruff.
I read it too.
Once upon a time, there were three Billy Goats. They lived in a valley, and the name of all three Billy Goats was Gruff. 1, 2, 3. There was very little grass in the valley, and the Billy Goats were hungry. They wanted to go up to the hillside to a fine meadow full of grass and daisies where they could eat and eat and eat and get fat. Oh, look, he's licking his lips. But on the way up, there was a bridge over a rushing river. I think it means rushing. I think we know that? Fast. If you think it means fast, give me a thumb up. I wasn't sure. Thanks for helping me. There was a rushing river, and under the bridge lived a troll who was as mean as he was ugly. First, the youngest Billy Goat Gruff decided to cross the bridge. Trip, 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 went the bridge. Who's that tripping over my bridge?
It's
Roar,
just like
the
the
troll.
other child.
I got my friends now. Oh, it's only the tiniest Billy Goat Gruff, said the Billy Goat in a very small voice. And I'm going up to the meadow to make myself fat. No, you're not, said the troll, for I'm coming to gobble you up. Oh, please don't take me. I'm too little that I am, said the Billy Goat. Wait for until the second that loud voice? Yeah, it's not a whisper voice. It's really loud. He roared it. Oh, it's only I, the second Billy Goat Gruff, and I'm going up to the meadow to make myself fat. Do my friends know the word meadow? I hope so. Ethan, what's a meadow? Has a lot of grass. You're exactly right. And his voice was not so small. No, you're not, said the troll, for I'm coming to gobble you up. Oh, please don't take me. Wait a little till the third Billy Goat Gruff comes. He's much bigger. Very well, be off with you, said the troll. Then up came the third Billy Goat Gruff. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap went the bridge. The third Billy Goat was so heavy that the bridge creaked and groaned under him. Are there any words that I just used that we weren't sure about? Joyce?
The Billy Goat wasn't scared of the troll.
Oh, we were talking about our words creaked and groaned. So I want you to think about when something is really heavy, it kind of goes creak, 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 and groaned because the Billy Goat was so big. So the bridge creaked and groaned under him. Who's that tramping over my bridge? Roared the troll. And we can tell he's roaring. Look how his mouth is open. He's yelling. It is I, the big Billy Goat Gruff, said the Billy Goat. And his voice was as loud as the troll's. Now I'm coming to gobble you up, roared the troll. Well, come along, said the big Billy Goat Gruff. I've got 2 horns and 4 hard hooves. See what you can do. So up climbed that mean, ugly troll. And the big Billy Goat Gruff butted him with his horns. It means he kind of pushed on him. And he trampled him with his hard hooves. Trampled means to go under his feet. Those are some words we might not have known. And he tossed him over the bridge into the rushing river.
With the catfish. Because I see one catfish.
Then the big Billy Goat Gruff went up to the hillside to join his brothers. In the meadow, the 3 Billy Goats Gruff got so fat that they could hardly walk home again. And they are probably there yet. So snip, snap, snout. This tale's told.
They look like
Carly, I want you to do your thinking and make that green choice, my dear. So friends, today we used our interesting voices, right? That helped make it interesting. And the other question I had for my friends was, what does a reader need to know to understand a story? And so there were a few words that I wanted to make sure that my friends knew. Meadow, thank you. Trampled.
I don't know.
You know, but you knew meadow, so you helped me out with that one, didn't you? Alex, what did you want to share? Thank you. I don't remember. What about the count? Was there anything else about the book that you wanted to share? All right. So today in your book tubs, friends, we are going to find our Billy Goat Gruff book. And you can practice telling it with your friends. And when you read that story, I want you to make it interesting to listen to and use some of those new vocabulary words I introduced. All right? Last one, Emma. You did raise your hand.
I saw a bird in the book.
You did already see it? Great, it is in there for us to read. Jacob.
What happened if I don't know it and you just say the letters like T, A, like whatever,
found out the word? Yes, Jacob, you can do that. Absolutely. Mackenzie.
I know the word meadow too.
I'm glad my friends knew the word meadow. Thank you for helping me out. All right, friends. You know what we're going to do now? We're going to do our ABC chart. We're going to get ready to do our literacy centers. And then we're going to move along. All right? So turn your bodies to face my ABC chart.